Flambards, referred to by many as the best day of the week. However, a day in particular not so long ago will go down in history instead as Flambards' worst day. The day in question is Monday the 4th of November 2024, where Flambards closed its doors forever. Since then, many videos have popped up on social media showcasing Flambards to be seemingly abandoned. And that's when I asked myself the question, just how abandoned is Flambards? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. Alright, here's the plan. So, one by one, we'll look at as many rides as we can at Flambards and see how badly the abandonment of the park has affected them. Also, before we begin, please note that none of these clips are owned by me. They've all been filmed by different people respectively. Do feel free to go and watch their full videos on their accounts or channels. We're going to kick off with Ferdy's Funland. This is the back end of the park and it's home to loads of kids rides, and when the park shut, these were the first ones to be noticeably abandoned looking, if that makes sense. So let's see what they're looking like now. Within months of the park's closure, the Dino Express ride suffered quite a lot of overgrowth, and while eventually the cars were removed, they started appearing in some strange locations around the park. While the human cannonball, teacups and small carousel were also removed quite quickly, no attempt to get rid of the gazebos was done really. I think maybe on one occasion some of the actual material on there was taken off, but the framework is still there. I've also got this little video here, it's only a couple seconds long, of bits of the carousel which are in somewhere in the back of house area of Flambards. The space shuttle is a weird one because although the seats that go up and down the main tower have been removed, the actual tower itself, the main shuttle if you will, is still in situ. In all the videos that I've seen of people breaking into Flambards and checking out the abandoned state, it's just been there. It looks like it hasn't been touched. Using this exact same video, we can see that at the far left, that the Cornwall's Eye has been removed. It wasn't covered loads in most abandoned videos that people were going there to film, but I just sort of noticed that at the corner of the screen, and yeah, a little last minute discovery for you there. Moving swiftly on to the space race, where the tent structure is still standing, however, it's extremely dirty, and the ride inside has been removed. While I'm at it, remember the Demon Drop slide? This is it now. Lovely stuff. Moving on to the Samba Balloon. So this is the first of the major-ish rides you could say at Flambards. Now this was a relatively new ride at the time of Flambards closure. And thanks to Shell's vlogs on a video titled Michael Barrymore Visits Flambards, you can see the remains of the ride. And that includes the operator's cabin, seemingly untouched, there next to it. And you can also see what looks to be Station West, which has been absolutely gutted as well. Nothing there remains, just the patch of grass. We now move on to this photograph, which if it was taken during a period where Flambards was open, you would have seen Skyforce, Skyraker, the Rocking Tug, and the Carousel. This photo allows us to tick off 4 in 1, as we see that all 4 of these rides have been removed. Now onto the flagship ride of Flambards, the Hornet roller coaster. As you can see, only the station and maintenance section of track is still here. And you know, there's a train hanging off the edge of the track in one of the videos, and you can just tell that no care was taken when this was removed. And it says that it's probably not going to get relocated anywhere and that the ride has no future. And it's really sad to see because loads of children, I imagine, have had their first roller coaster ride on the Hornet. You know, it certainly was one of my first being in the area, and to see it go in such an undignified and sudden way it can be really sad. It could also be said this was extremely preventable in that we could have just picked the coaster up and moved it somewhere. You know, there's a big hill on the Camel Creek site that used to be home to the 2 water rides that nothing there now. You could have put that there. Or, you know, somewhere else. Anywhere in the world, really, you could have put. But at the end of the day, it would have been 30 this year, actually. So, it's an aging ride. So, you know, there's different sides of the argument. Either way, it looks like the days of the Hornet are over. And just beside the Hornet, you've got the cyclocopters, which I believe, as of now, are currently lying on the site waiting for scrap. And by the looks of things, the go-karts are soon to experience a similar fate. The final ride on our list is the log flume, and by the looks of these photos and videos, it's genuinely just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's like a giant rubble pit has replaced the log flume, once beloved by many at Flambards. Even the station's gone. Everything has completely gone. There's just a hole where the ride used to be. Now, it does seem like the most popular thing to do upon breaking into Flambards is seeing the remains of the Victorian village. Good news though, The actual models and exhibitions have been moved up country somewhere, so it's still there in spirit. However, what remains in the building is quite unnerving, and it doesn't look the cleanest and safest place. So I found a little video of it. I'll just play some slightly harrowing music over it, and I'll leave you with this. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.